Good morning. My name is Tom. Welcome to my cabin.
Salt pork, half a pound. Put in 2 onions. Boiling my beans for 10 or 15 minutes till the skin breaks when blown upon. Beans are on the wood stove. I just need to add a couple more inches of water. Beans are finished. Still snowing. Dog's waiting for her beans.
Disaster in the outhouse, or over the outhouse, or all around the outhouse. A 1.5 foot spruce tree, 60 feet tall, fell down right beside the outhouse and just about flattened it. You can see in this picture right here, on the back corner of that outhouse, that tree just missed my outhouse by inches. And in the wintertime, the last thing you want in an off-grid cabin is to have a flattened outhouse. Let me tell you what, that would not be any fun at all by any stretch of the imagination. So if you're laughing right here at me and my outhouse, you really need to go see the quacker and see what's the matter with your sense of humor. Because an outhouse, when it's 20 below zero, is a pretty important thing to have here at the off-grid cabin. Now I know what you're thinking. All them beans in the first clip. You thought that was going to be the natural disaster at the outhouse. Now come on, fess up. I know darn well what you was thinking. Now for those of you that are getting a huge kick out of this, laughing at this tree that just about smashed my outhouse to smithereens, I brought you around back so you can get a better view because I know how some of you are. I cannot wait to see in the comments what you have to say about a flattened outhouse. Oh, but it just barely missed it. So I guess it's not going to be quite so funny on your part now, is it? Rick, you've got a brand new chainsaw. You could bring that up and we could have coffee next to the wood stove. And we got done having that coffee, you could fire up that chainsaw and help me clean out the brush that all around my outhouse. We've still got plenty of winter to come, and I absolutely need that outhouse. So bring your saw, I'll put the coffee pot on, and we can have a day's work. Maybe even I'll make a chili or something, put on the wood stove. We'll see. You just show up. In this clip, what you're looking at is what happens to the snow that's on top of the roof when you don't have insulation. There is a 1-inch board up there between me and the outside world, so the wood stove heats up the ceiling and all the snow will melt off it until we get a couple of really big storms. And that's when you see that I have to shovel it off. But it does build up an awful pile of ice. But I do use that ice. I go out, chip it off, and I'm able to throw it into my coolers that are inside of the cabin in the wintertime because this is an off-grid cabin. So the ice hanging off that roof is very valuable.
taking a minute out of this video to plug my channel just a little bit here. If you enjoy videos like this one, would you please hit the subscribe button and especially hit the like button. That goes a long ways with YouTube. And your support is so greatly appreciated on this stuff. I love doing the videos. I love sharing my experience with you. I am located in Maine, and I travel all over the state of Maine, fishing and hunting and all that stuff. So I would really appreciate the support by just clicking or hitting the like and subscribe button. So you have a great day, and I'm going to continue on with this video. I hope you're enjoying it. I love these old 8-horse motors, and just plain have a great day. Alright, I'm getting ready now to cook on here. Now the difference between a cooking campfire and over there, that's where we have a campfire. That's where you just have a plain old campfire. A cooking campfire is one that's coals. That's why this fireplace is so big over here. What you do is you keep a pile of wood growing over here that's burning, and that way you're creating more coals as you go. And then here you slide the coals underneath your cooker. Just the coals. And not too many. Right now, see right now I can only hold my hand here. That's way too hot. You want to be able to hold your hand about 6 to 8 inches off that fire. And 6 to 8 inches off them coals will give you about 350 degrees. So right now we're probably, maybe 700-800 degrees, 1,000, which is way too much. You're getting better. So I'm going to let that die down for a minute. Then as you need it, as you need coals, you can pull the coals over and just stick them underneath your fire, underneath what you're cooking. That's the difference between a cooking fire pit and a campfire. And the other thing, this is a clean burning fire. If you don't want soot on your pans, there will be no soot over here. The soot comes from over there, over the fire, this actual fire. If you want a nice clean pan with no soot, you cook it over here. That salmon has only been dead about 2 hours. So it doesn't get much fresher than that. I just put a little salt and pepper on, and boy, I've already had one little bite, and boy, doesn't it taste good. I can smell the salmon, so that's cooking. See how it falls right off the bone? Falls off the bone like that, you know it's done. See that? You lift the bone right out. Look at that. Throw this in the fireplace and be right back. The skin doesn't get wasted. What I do with the skin is I give it to my beagle, and she loves it. Putting on a little salt and pepper. It has just enough smoke flavor that it tastes unbelievable. So I will see you later. I'm going to enjoy this meal. I don't know if I can eat that whole plate of fish, but I'm going to give it a good shot. Thank you for watching. This is the last day of my fishing trip. I've been up here for 3 days fishing for lake trout. I managed to get one salmon and one really nice bass. I usually don't count the bass, but this one was over 4 pounds, and I named him Fish Nuggets. So I chopped him up into 1/2-inch pieces and made fish nuggets out of him. A heck of a supper that night. That's one of the reasons I keep the bass that are in that area. I don't necessarily go out and target them for fishing. I'm just not a bass fisherman. But last night I was able to catch a 29-inch lake trout, 10 pounds. I didn't have the video camera with me. I haven't quite figured out how to videotape the fish behind the boat without only me being what's in the picture. You know, usually I play the lake as directly behind the boat and the camera would be up in front of me. I do have a GoPro, but I don't normally like the pictures that I get from it, so I haven't really spent a lot of time with it. But I'll show you the fish anyway. Oh, there he is. He's 29. So, he's a pretty big boy. He took me about 20 minutes to get in the boat, 20 minutes to a half hour. I was fishing 70 feet down, directly on bottom, with that togue tip that I did a video on a couple of weeks ago. This is the results of that. Usually I get at least anywhere from 2 to 3 of these, if not bigger, every summer. So we'll see what happens. I know the togue fishing up in Canada is probably a heck of a lot bigger than this, but for Maine standards, this is a nice fish. So Paul, I hope you like that. I didn't catch him on the 10-inch chub, but I did catch him on a 7-inch sucker. And there's a story behind that sucker. When I was putting the boat in last night, I had a buddy with me and he was going along for the boat ride and a cup of coffee. As we were putting the boat in, there was a dead sucker laying on the bottom, right there at the boat landing. And so I scoffed him up, and I told my buddy, I said, I'm going to catch a laker off that sucker. So that 7-inch sucker I put behind the boat, and 45 minutes later, I was able to hook this. So I realize this isn't out in the boat, but I hope you enjoyed this video anyways. This is what I look for. This is why I'm not a bass fisherman. So you have a great day, and I will see you on the next one.